If one's own needs are not met, he is fooling himself by tending to the needs of others. Altruism is a myth. Compassion is a natural byproduct of one's peace. One cannot give what one does not have. Perhaps the only way to say yes to life is to say no to the persona you have created. In all my travels around the world, the rarest thing I have found is a man who is on a path so sincere that he cares not where it leads. To become empty is to realize that all your attempts at becoming empty have only filled you with more garbage. Humility is the natural consequence of realizing the vastness of our own ignorance. Life becomes a benediction when horizons disappear. Understand, dear one, that you are not in the universe. The universe is in you. Awareness is the realization that the self that you have labored to create and adorn is but a phantom of your imagination. If you live within the world of endless thoughts, you will live a life of suffering. Freedom from thought is endless joy. Man is the only creature in the world who spends the whole of his life chasing that which he already possesses. Instant enlightenment comes to a person when she becomes the being that is separate from the person she calls herself. You are the moon, the sun, and the sky. Once you realize this in your heart, you will never long to be anything else. There is nowhere to go, nothing to hope for, nothing to strive for, and no one to meet. Once you understand this, you will have arrived. It seems that gifts are forever floating around us. When we detach from ourselves, we are able to clearly see them. One of the most powerful forces in a person's life is a habit. Moods are simple phases of the mind. They have nothing to do with you. Trees don't care about their age. Perhaps this is why they are so beautifully still. Your ego is not yours. It belongs to the mind. You need no reparative work. Transcend the mind and you will transcend the ego. True art lies beyond intellect. It arises from complete surrender, to disappear into one's art until only the art remains. When we divorce ourselves from the self we have manufactured, we divorce ourselves from all of our problems. Anger and resentment arise when a small part of us believes the insults. Anger arises from inner conflict, not outer conflict. Emotions do not belong to man. When he realizes this, he allows them to arise and fall without being affected by them. Change modifies. Transformation liberates. Transformation is not a process, it is a detonation. The smoke clears and life lies before you. Sometimes the voice that is discovered is the one that thinks for itself. It is who we live as that defines our experience of life. Unless you know yourself, you will always live as someone other than yourself. Stop searching for jewels. Instead, cultivate a jeweler's eye, for then you will see the jewels that has surrounded you for all these years. Creativity is a man's most intimate gift and his greatest rebellion. How easily we sacrifice the glory of the present and value it when it becomes a memory of the past. Stress is asking from life what it cannot give, for life is a mystery to be lived. Today is never as glamorous as tomorrow, or as sentimental as yesterday, but it is, in fact, the only thing that exists. The harder you get hit, the more it will shatter the shell of your ego, leading you to the light of freedom. He who recognizes the beauty that pre-existed his concept of himself allows beauty to flow from him like a fragrance. Understand, dear friend, that there was a time when you were not here, and soon there will be a time when you are no longer here. The witness within you watches. It sees the body and the mind and knows that it is neither. This is the real you. The key to enlightenment is to cultivate the ability to live your life without the burden of involuntary thought. The ultimate journey of a man is not to worship God, but to experience Him and become Him every moment of every day. You ready? Man spends his entire life demanding from life that which it has not the power to give. The world preceded us and it will outlast us. A human being's only transformation lies in the way in which he experiences life. Structure your mind training to create bliss, for how you feel right now is all that matters, and all that you ever really have. Life is full of suffering. The world has nothing to offer us. When this hits us square in the spleen, we will turn inward. The feelings that predominate in a human being's life signify the degree to which he is entrapped by the mind. Today, you and I stand one day closer to our death. It will come swift and assured. Can you hear its footsteps? The events and routines of our lives attempt to keep us permanently distracted from seeing the living, breathing glory that life truly is. Life is neither yin nor yang, nor is it a puzzle to be solved. It is simply a glorious mystery to be lived. When you no longer want anything or need anything, your life will reveal itself to you, and you will look at it through teary eyes. Allow not the culture to spoil your native purity. Productivity is a function of clarity. Clarity is a function of instinct. Instinct comes from the glorious state of no mind. Today is the only day there will ever be. There has never been another, and mankind wasted it in his longing for tomorrow. The mind habitually seeks pleasure, and for as long as man rides this train of the mind, it will lead him to his inevitable demise. Those who subscribe to this world of phenomena live a wholly plastic existence. Your greatest friend is the one within you. He has been waiting for decades for you to look his way. The world will never change. Once you see it for what it is, your life transforms that very day. Mind cannot be quieted, only transcended. In understanding its nature, you create a space between you and it. Stop running the race and create a fertile ground for wisdom to grow within you. The mind loves complication. The ego cannot live without it. You will never be in control for as long as you are enslaved to the idea of happiness. Each day is one day closer to death, yet people love to hide behind birthdays. It is all the small things, not the highlights. Sacrifice never brings happiness. To lose yourself in your art liberates you from the burden of happiness. This was a collection from Kapil Gupta Twitter feed. You can visit his Twitter handle at Kapil Gupta MD or visit his website kapilguptamd.com. Have a great day.